We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game, and maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done. Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Antonio Brown, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a first and 10 at their 25-yard line.
I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
The third year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jamal Williams, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. This time, Jackson will throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Jackson, escape, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Ravens have taken the lead. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Roethlisberger. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Pernell McPhee, always a threat to find the QB, and he gets to him there. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Here's Hill on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55.
From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Antonio Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Think about some of the memorable performances that Ben Roethlisberger has had over the years, and one of them came against the Ravens. He threw 6 touchdowns back in 2014 in a win against Baltimore. And actually, now that I think about it, that was on the heels of a 6-touchdown performance in a win over Indianapolis the week prior. So October of 2014 was kind of Big Ben. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Matt Judon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Switch.
Here's Jackson to throw. Lets it go for Nelson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Marcus Peters up to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The first carry for DeAndre Washington. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DeAndre Washington. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. A trick shot on the extra point, but it is good off the left upright. 2nd quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20, 10, and it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
From the 31, Roethlisberger. And the catch made by Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And the Steelers first down.
Here we go.
And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
But with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
That was third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Fourth down. Here's Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Pernell McPhee. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silent.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.J. Nelson, his second touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Stop your whining.
Now Ben going to give it to Williams. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. On third down, here's Williams. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Check 31, check 31. Check nickel.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson flush to his right. He's got his man. It's Andrews. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson towards the end zone for Brown. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Antonio Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as the Ravens push further out in front. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon.
Let's go. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Here we go.
Roethlisberger with a give. It's Williams. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Johnson with a burst, a 1st down and more. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Jimmy Smith there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you get the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
On third down, Williams. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Mike.
Now Jackson on first down.
Let's bring it.
This will be caught by Brown. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards.
Those are the types of throws that Jackson has to be more efficient with this year. He really put an emphasis on improving his passing accuracy in the offseason because last year as a rookie, 58%, that was it. And his quarterback coach said the ball is coming out of his hand cleaner. The timing looks better. That's what they're hoping for. Everybody knows he can run, but now he continues his quest to be more well-rounded and improve on his conservative 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns he threw for last season. Throwing again on second down. Jackson. He completes it to Nelson. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Here's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want...
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DeAndre Washington. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Jackson on first down. Dancing to his left. He'll run it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson, he's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They go play action with Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. Jackson looking to throw on third. He gets it to Brown, complete, and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Right. Watch it, 5. You got double up. Rush in. 50, check 50.
Jackson from the shotgun. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now. Really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Roethlisberger. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Get him!
Here we go on 4th down with Roethlisberger. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 48. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Johnson, the intended target.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. T.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Crunch. Out. Check 3.
Now Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
It has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. They'll roll him out right. Caught by Nelson. And he's got some space here. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.J. Nelson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Steelers take over.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Flushed out right. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Josh Bynes coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now it's Jackson. They're hauling it in, Nelson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
The kick is good.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Steelers point. Justin Tucker is the kickoff.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
First and 10.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Trying to lay one up deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts.
Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if I kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
It's now 3rd and 8.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? It's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it to DeAndre Washington. 3rd down here. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
On 3rd down, Williams. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Here we go.
The handoff right side, it's Washington. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Lock 80! Come on, D! Are you getting the headache?
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll get that one complete to counter. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Lock 80! Watch the twist, watch the twist.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense has converted 2 3rd downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time. So a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And here just playing for pride at this point. Down big, but they'll go for it on 4th. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. He's checking.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play that time for the Ravens. 51 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Mark 55! Mark 55!
From the gun, it's Jackson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Ready?
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
First and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Watch QB drop.
One last shot for Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to take over at the 20.